You're such an asshole.
AssholeConsulting.com. How you guys doing? Gonna bang out some videos here today. Then I gotta go and trickle charge the motorcycles. What does that mean? Go look up stuff and become a man. All right, Aaron, I compete with a wide range of locksmiths, from friendly small business owners to, as odd as it sounds, a large, effective international Israeli locksmith scam syndicate, ripping off everyone they can. That right there, you piqued my curiosity. They invest little in customers and much in churn and burn websites, powerful PBNs, and expensive AdWord campaigns. Do nice guys finish last in small local businesses? Yes and no. We're going to start here and do the economics lesson, and then we'll get. If you are in a small town, and it depends on the culture of that town, nice guys do not finish last. If we're talking a conservative, traditional town where people have trust and all that, you face the same thing as a mechanic. Is the mechanic reliable? Is the dentist reliable? Is the doctor reliable? Is the butcher, does he or she sell good meat? All right? And if it's a small community and there ain't a Wal-Mart nearby, there's no big national franchise store chain coming through, your reputation is your business. And as long as you provide goods, I got a mechanic not too far away from here, small town mechanic. Even though I live in the WBL, which is a suburb of St. Paul, I could go to any mechanic. I like these guys. I like these guys because they've done good work. They haven't screwed me over. So it is, and people keep going. This guy's been in business, 40, 50 years. So your reputation is key. Assuming it's a small town, your reputation matters. Think Mayberry and Andy Griffith. If you're in a large town and the big national chain comes in and the people are transitory, like we're not talking a small little town, but people are moving in and out. There's a lot of immigration and emigration from that town. Then it's kind of moot. Then, yeah, small guys do finish, or good guys, nice guys finish last in that regard. And in general, you can operate from the premise that nice guys finish last. In general, on all things. But this is why I provided the caveat. If you're in a small, secluded, cut-off town, where you're the only locksmith in town, you darn right your reputation matters. So it really depends. Right? I'll often save folks money where they didn't see it could be saved. Now, do they know that you saved them money there? That's another thing. Like, you can't just be a nice guy and not tell people about it or show. You got to say, hey, I did this for you. You darn right. You darn right. If I do the dishes, I let the GF know, hey, did dishes. Every once in a while, hey, you're buying this time. you got to let people, because they'll just take it. They'll just take it for granted. They won't know. You got to let them know. I guarantee my work and give my customers the products and service they pay for, sometimes a little more. I want to run a business that is profitable, and I want to value my customers. After taxes, materials, insurance, and other operating costs, profit margins are tight for now. I feel it wise to ignore the scammers who are skull-fucking the locksmith industry. I'm so curious, like, how can there be a scam in locksmithing? Hey, I locked myself out of the car. You let me in. Thanks. How do you scam someone with that? By the way, here's a free get out of jail free card, for $5. Well, how do you scam? And focus on improving my own operation. I feel it wise not to suck value from the working man, my customers. I love the American working man, and I'm proud to give him what he pays for. Yeah, that's good. I agree. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. But now you're going to have to assess whether or not that's the rules of the battlefield you're on now. When this international Israeli locksmith scan syndicate comes to town. Are they changing the game now? What mindset, attitudes, morals must one develop to cultivate a small bit of wealth amongst wolves? I am naive to believe competency. Am I naive to believe competency and hard work alone are enough? In general, you are. Again, we'll get back to what kind of environment you're in. Please quote a price for a video response on general business ethics, but relate those ideas to small business tradesmen of various types. How to fight in the same ring as large businesses who make it their own rules, build to sustain itself without providing value to customers. I lack the creativity capital to fight them within the law and will not fight them outside the law. Yeah, but are they doing anything illegal? That's the thing. And are they doing anything illegal to you? If they're not doing anything illegal to you, you can't sue them. You can't just, well, I don't like what they're doing. I know one guy wanted to sue this guy because he was unethical, wasn't illegal, and my buddy lost the lawsuit. It's like, you're not here to be Superman either. Thank you. All right, so I had a little bit of extra questions about, like, you gotta explain this international Israeli locksmith scamming syndicate. It just sounds like a video game, except with locksmith. So they say, give me a little bit more to go on here. You say, they quote low service fees such as $19 service calls or car keys starting at $29. They get out to the customer and charge as much as possible, very often grossly overcharging. YouTube link below if you care to actually see it on camera. The video is ABC's The Lookout National TV program. The last 5 minutes or so I have an interview with the owner. All right. So they're bait and switch is what they're doing with it, which is unethical but not illegal. And if that's it, that doesn't sound like an international scamming syndicate. It just sounds like a one-trick pony of unethical business practices. Okay, so let's go back to your specific questions. General business ethics, but relate to those ideas to small business tradesmen of various types. Let's start with general business ethics. I personally have a problem, although it is quickly being eroded away, doing bad business. I like being upfront and direct. I'm not going to kiss your ass. I'm not going to suck your cock. Which is what every Fortune 500 company. Look at Starbucks. Oh my God, Starbucks doesn't know which dick to suck now, to be politically correct. I am straight and forward with my customers and clients, and I think you guys all know that. I also aim to provide the best service possible, not because of any moral reasons, but because that's good competition. When I taught dance classes, I made sure that I was the best, I was the funniest, I was the most entertaining, and I taught people. I could teach anybody to dance. I'd always figure a way to do it. So I make sure that my product is the best on the market, not only because it provides the best service, but it's going to make me the most money in the long run, and it's going to be a lot easier. There's going to be less defaults, less recalls if you're selling a product. It almost has nothing to do with morality. It has everything to do with, I don't want to deal with complaints, returns, and bullshit. It's soup Nazi. Soup Nazi is basically, here's this amazing soup. If you shut up and do exactly as I tell you, and I'm forthright with you, you know the rules going in, I can process as many people as possible, you're going to get amazing soup, and we're all going to be happy, and the cost is going to be very low. And so that is the general business. You don't want to do anything, now, from a moral perspective, you don't want to sell things that hurt and harm people. I don't know how you could live with yourself like that. Now, as it relates to small business and tradesmen of various types, it's the same thing, but if you're small, it's your reputation and your brand name. And it's almost a given that, yeah, you want to provide the best service possible. Now, again, if you're in a small, secluded town, you might be the only butcher in town. And you could go ahead and chintz on the quality of the meat, but soon people aren't going to go there, and they'll start driving out of town. They'll go somewhere else. And you'll just have a bad reputation, and no one's going to want to deal with you. So for the sake of ease and overhead and management and labor and resources spent dealing with problems and putting out fires, you want to play your A game right off the bat all the time and just be the best you could possibly be. Again, not for any necessarily moral reasons, but that's going to be the most direct route to being profitable. Not to mention, and you're going to learn, well, you probably already know this as an entrepreneur, you only got so much time. You know what? I don't like dealing with problems. I want, boom, it's done, taken care of, now I go play, right? And if you think you're saving time, you think you're making money over here, oh, I'm going to cut the quality, I'm going to give them bad product. Nope, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Here it is. I fixed your car the right time the first way. Boom, done. I won't see you for another 2 years until you need new brakes. Now you can go and fish. Right? So that is, it's just a good general, we could almost say it's the golden rule of entrepreneurship, but especially as it pertains to small businesses. Your brand name, your name is your reputation and the biggest marketing asset that you have. Make sure it's not a damn good one, it's the best in town, right? And then once you start playing these games, when the international Israeli syndicate comes in and tries to push you out of town, all right, yeah, your margins are going to go a little bit lower, but hopefully over time, people will realize that it's a syndicate. They'll get Yelp, they'll get reviews, they'll be voted down, and then people will say, yeah, we don't trust those guys. And then kind of like, you ever remember those old black and white TV shows, like, say, Gunsmoke or Bonanza, or even the Brady, but some charlatan would come in town, some snake oil salesman, and this will cure warts. And if any of you remember Red Dead Redemption, what was it, Pickett? Who was the guy? Virility, a strong man. Just a great voice actor on that character. Red Dead Redemption, look it up. Favorite video game, except for Armed and Dangerous. That was even better than Red Dead Redemption. Anyway, they will, in theory, in business, the townspeople, the townsfolk will realize this is a scam, this is a racket. The internet will come to rescue. They'll look it up. They'll all be downvoted, and then you will. And they all learned it in the end. Everybody in Bonanza learned it. We should have always trusted Butcher Joe. Butcher Joe always gave us the nicest meat. And even though this guy came into town, he saw, we all got food. Why did we ever? Butcher Joe, thank you for being understanding. Now they have even more loyalty to you. So that's how it would work in the real world. But this goes to your second question. How to fight in the same ring as large businesses who make its own rules built to sustain itself without providing value to customers. I lack the creativity capital to fight them within law. You're not going to assume because they're not doing anything illegal. That's not illegal to bait and switch. And will not fight them outside the law. All right. One, you do your Gunsmoke, Butcher Joe, good quality locksmith. You're the town locksmith. You can market it that way. Don't go with, and you can say, don't go with bait and switch, international racketeers. Don't go with the other guys. Don't go with somebody you know. Go with Joe. And so play to the local. Been in town. You're locksmith for the past 2 decades. Honest Joe. Go to the local business. Do the flyering or whatever else like that. But here's the problem. There might be a difference between a large scam or immoral or amoral type of large corporate company coming in, locksmith or not, versus a fundamental change in economics. Let me show you the difference. Wal-Mart. I don't give a shit about mom and pop stores, all right? You're obsolete. You're obsolete. I know it was nice and kind. Walmart, it may be big, it may be large, it's not immoral. Lower prices benefit everyone. And it's like, mom and pa gotta move on. We're not gonna hold back the progress of the whole country because you want to keep your little obsolete mom and pop store, which simply can't compete and is not as efficient or as affordable as Walmart. So I just don't care about mom and pop stores because I like progress. I like to see poor people have 30% more purchasing power without me having to pay more taxes because Walmart lowered the prices that much. I like to see that. I like to see everybody progress. And that means horse and buggies, mom and pa, swordsmiths are all going to go away once Walmart comes to town, Ford comes to town, or Smith & Wesson comes to town. That's progress, right? And you may be that. You might be that because this company has more capital, they do more advertising, they can outgun you in capital and everything else. And it may be unethical what they're doing, but I don't think it's a scam. I mean, it kind of is a scam to bait and switch. But if they just got more capital, more guns, you got to look at being, okay, there's a chance, there's an outcome where I try to do Honest Joe, I try and get people, I pointed out, people are voting down the Yelp scores. But again, this depends on the community. If you're in a small, secluded community where you've been the town locksmith for 20 years, I think you'll win in the end. This guy will be the Don Rickles like charlatan that will come in and go away, and you'll be done. But if you're in a emigratory, transitory, near a large metro area or in a large metro area type business, you don't have time to build up your reputation with the townsfolk. And these guys, people will just look it up. Oh, here it is. They do Google AdSense, AdWords. You can do AdWords. Nothing prevents you from doing that. Like, here's the #1 hit. Click. All right? Yeah, they just happen to have, frankly, it's not a morally better business model than you. They just have a better business model than you. And you're going to be obsoleted, and you're going to have to find a new job. Okay? So you can find them on AdWords, nothing wrong with that. Especially, they got to spend AdWords in all across the country. You just have to spend in your one little zip code. All right? That's competition. But here's another thing that you have to think about, and it is the responsibility of the people. And this is where the old captain starts to question the morality of business. If the townsfolk are dumb enough to go buy the snake oil salesman, they're dumb enough to stop shopping at Bob the Butcher and get Joe's transitory delivery meats, that's their fault. That's their problem. And if they keep going back to that, that's their fault and their problem. And then it becomes a moral question for you. If people are willing to be duped, whether they're in the secluded town and they're buying from Don Rickles, or they're in the migratory transitory town and they just go with whatever the clickbait is, if they're that dumb, they're that naive, well, then they become sheep in my eyes. And you guys know my opinion about sheep and lemmings. And here's where I can't answer this for you. I can only point you a couple doors. Door number one is you keep hammering away, doing the moral thing and maintain your ethics and codes. And these people are just going to keep on going to the International Israeli Locksmith Crime Syndicate Scam Brotherhood. All right? Or you play dirty in the same way. Now, what is dirty? It's going to be a little bit different for you, because you don't have the capital. You could do. I think you could do AdWords. You'd be surprised how cheap that is. But you just start charging the same. Go on Yelp. Do some fake reviews. Do it from a Tor browser or something, different. If we're talking unethical, fine. Go ahead, scam them, get them. But once you find out that the people are sheep, they may be friends and is your company's survival worth rolling around with that pig in the mud? Is it worth then trying to scam those people as well? Maybe increase your, hey, look, if they're charging $29, you could do a price guarantee. Something like that. Like, we guarantee this price. We don't do a bait and switch. That'd actually be a little bit more moral. But once I find out that the people are easily duped and they're not going to go with reliability, especially if I've provided good, reliable, honest service for so long, then it's like, And I face this in banking. If I had just played ball, guys, I'd be a millionaire. I'd be set. You wouldn't even see me. There would be no Aaron Clary on the internet. I just like, hey, there's a couple of bye. I'm out of here. We'll see you. Bye. Yeah, there'd be the occasional book that would drop. Maybe I'd write the, but I'd be gone. And if I just played ball, and here's all these people clamoring to get money. Here's my bosses clamoring to lend them money. I am the stupid, idiot, moral motherfucker that looked at it and said, wait, they can't pay. And then our shareholders, not to mention the FDIC, would have to bail us out. And then not to mention the taxpayers. This is a very big financial crisis that could happen here. Where did it get me? Got me nowhere. What ended up happening? Loans were made anyway. Financial crisis occurred. The only thing that happened was I didn't make money along the way. And it's kind of the same thing here now. I love asshole consulting. And you know why? Because it's honest. I get to fucking tell you guys what I think without any reservations to your feelings. It's like, this is it, da-da-da. And it's, I think, about the only real honest job. Well, I've had other real physical labor on where I don't have to lie. I don't have to skew the figures. To quote Robert De Niro in Midnight Run, it's only me. There is no payoff because it's only me. It's one of the rare instances where you can be truthful and make money. I think this is the only company that is the purveyor of truth, quite literally, in the world. All right? But I've always said, if this goes away, whatever, that gets the demonetization, or they don't like my speech, or whatever, for whatever reason this goes away, I am not trying. The new Clary version 2.0 is not going to be this, albeit angry and very bitter individual, but at least he was honest and moral. And I'm going to lick my chops. I'm going after the fucking sheep. I'm going to sell lies. I'm not doing this hard work trying to do what's moral and right for society. As society's going down, I'm making as much motherfucking money as I can off these assholes. I'm going to lie to women. I'm going to lie to young people. I'm going to lie to millennials. I'm going to lie to Gen Zers. I am going to tell them everything they want to fucking hear. And it'll be not only easier, but I almost guarantee I'll make a lot more money than I would. Just wish I knew that when I was 20. I could have made a lot of money, then I'd be done. And that's the moral question you gotta face. If people are going to be that easily duped, that dumb, that disloyal, me personally, I got no problem. No, especially, well, okay. None of them have called you a racist, a bigot, a homophobe, or the tons of this, you're mean to. You don't get flack from these people. They probably just don't hire you again, and they go with the syndicate. But, you know, insults aside, I don't know. I don't have any respect for sheep. And if your market proves to be transitory, disloyal, easily duped, easy marks, that's the new rule of the game. That's the new market. Those are the new rules. That's the new landscape of the battlefield. And if you want to win, fortunately, you got to check your morals and your bullshit at the door, and then you got to go on and do that. Now, hopefully, you got a plan B, whereas your clients are just kind of innocent, hardworking men and women. I understand that they're not. They may be sheep, but they're still good, honest sheep. They're just sheep. My sheep are basically evil, vile, lazy, parasitic fucks of society who want society to take care of them. Your feminists, your millennials, your Gen Zers, your forgive my student loans. They want to be lied to. I think there's an immoral component to them where I have no problem selling lies to evil or at least parasitic people. This is one you got to wrestle with yourself. Hopefully there's a way you can thread the needle and do moral, ethical business maneuvers and strategies. Do your AdWords. Play to the honest Joe. Hey, don't do this. Go with honest Joe. Hopefully there's a marketing strategy that you can beat the international syndicate with. But if it turns out that the market is now too full of sheep and they just blah, 29. Oh, it's 58, blah. Maybe you should do the same. But what's more important than that is if this is a Walmart, this is just a larger company that can streamline and not even beat your prices. That's not what it is. If they can outmarket you and outmaneuver you and they just capture the market, you're going to have to look for another job. That's what it boils down to. So I hope you can, because ideally, the townsfolk come out, they know Don Rickles is scam artist, and they have locksmith days. And we champion Bob the locksmith, our local lovable town locksmith. That would be the most ideal outcome. You weather this storm and then these guys lose the reputation. But if it don't, and it looks more permanent, and people are going with it, well, that's like this girl you're marrying and your wife, and she says, I met an investment banker, cowboy, astronaut. He's my personal trainer too, and we're just friends. Dude, it's over. File for divorce. Pack up your shit. Maybe go to a different town or something like that. All right, that's it. You guys got questions? Cappy's got answers. AssheleConsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Tools.